Apple stock in 2025, buy, hold, or sell. Expert analysis for USA, UK, Oz, Can investors. Visual, Apple stock logo animation plus global map, USA, UK, Oz, Can. Apple stock has always been one of the biggest names in the market. But in 2025, is it still a smart investment, or has its best growth already passed? Whether you're in the United States, the UK, Australia, or Canada, this deep dive will help you decide whether to buy, hold, or sell Apple shares this year. Let's break down earnings, product updates, expert forecasts, and global investor sentiment, starting now. Chart with upwards trend emoji, Part 1, Apple's 2025 stock performance recap. Visual, charts of Apple stock over the last 12 months. As of Q2 2025, Apple's stock has fluctuated between $165 and $195 per share. After a strong start to the year fueled by the Vision Pro expansion, share prices pulled back slightly due to global tech sell-offs and uncertain earnings guidance. Compared to competitors like Microsoft, Alphabet, and Nvidia, Apple's growth has slowed but remained consistent, especially in North America and Europe. Money Bag, Part 2, Financial Highlights, Q1 and Q2 2025. Visual, Apple Earnings Call Highlights, Charts, Tim Cook. In Q1 2025, Apple posted $123 billion in revenue, a 3% increase year-over-year. iPhone 16 sales remained strong, especially in the US and UK markets. Services grew 7%, while iPad and Mac revenue declined slightly. However, the most important number for investors. Operating margin held steady at 29%, proving Apple is still highly efficient, even during economic uncertainty. Robot, Part 3, Innovation and Product Pipeline. iPhone 16, Vision Pro, Apple Watch Ultra, AAPL features demo. Innovation remains key. Apple is investing heavily in AI integration across its ecosystem. The iPhone 16 uses a new AI-powered chip, allowing real-time photo editing, voice enhancements, and smarter battery usage. The Vision Pro is expanding globally and slowly building momentum among tech enthusiasts and professionals. However, competitors like Meta and Samsung are moving faster in the wearable and AR space. Africa, Part 4, International Markets Breakdown. Map of USA, UK, Oz, Can plus Apple stores and users. In the United States, Apple maintains over 50% of the smartphone market. In the UK, sales have held steady despite economic headwinds, with strong loyalty among professionals. Australia and Canada show promising growth in Apple services, especially iCloud Plus, Music, and Arcade. Currency exchange risks are a concern for international investors, but brand loyalty remains Apple's greatest moat. Warning sign, Part 5, Risks and Challenges in 2025. Visual, charts of inflation, China supply chain, lawsuits. While Apple looks strong, there are some risks to consider. Global inflation could hurt consumer spending on premium products. Apple also faces increasing regulatory scrutiny in the US and Europe, including antitrust investigations around its App Store fees. And let's not forget, Apple is still reliant on China for much of its production, which could be risky amid geopolitical tension.
Brain, Part 6. What experts and analysts are saying. Visual, quotes from Bloomberg, can be see, Morgan Stanley. Most analysts remain neutral to bullish on Apple. Morgan Stanley projects a target of $205 per share by the end of 2025. Barclays is more cautious, citing slowing service growth and increasing competition. Still, AAPL remains a top holding in ETFs like SPY, QQQ, and global tech funds, meaning institutional confidence is still high. Receipt, Part 7: buy, hold, or sell. Final verdict, visual, decision checklist, green, red arrows. If you're a long-term investor, hold. Apple still has unmatched brand strength and cash flow. If you're new and considering entry, buy gradually. Wait for dips and dollar cost average. If you're focused on short-term growth, consider partial sell or diversification. Other techs like Nvidia or Meta may offer faster upside. Apple remains a tech giant, but the pace of growth is slowing. Bell, outro, visual, call to action plus comment section. What are you doing with Apple stock in 2025? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more deep dives just like this. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.
Apple stock in 2025, buy, hold, or sell. Expert analysis for USA, UK, Oz, Can investors. 1. Introduction, a global perspective. As one of the most influential tech companies in the world, Apple Incorporated, AAPL, continues to attract the attention of investors from the United States, the United Kingdom, Australia, and Canada. With its stock showing resilience amid market volatility, many are wondering, is Apple stock a buy, hold, or sell in 2025? 2. The powerhouse behind the ticker. Apple's robust ecosystem, strong brand loyalty, and innovative product lines, from the iPhone to the Vision Pro, have contributed to its long-term market dominance. These fundamentals remain key for global investors evaluating their 2025 strategies. 3. Apple's 2024 performance recap. In 2024, Apple delivered steady growth despite macroeconomic challenges. It expanded its services division, made progress in AI, and maintained healthy margins. However, sluggish iPhone sales in some markets raised eyebrows. 4. Financial metrics snapshot. Apple's Q1 2025 results reported a YoY revenue growth of 4%, with earnings per share exceeding Wall Street expectations. The company's cash reserves remain massive, providing flexibility for buybacks and dividends. 5. Why the buy argument exists. Many analysts argue Apple is a buy in 2025 due to its strategic moves in AI, potential breakthroughs in AR/VR, and its push toward recurring revenue via services and subscriptions. 6. The bull case for USA investors. For American investors, Apple is a household name. Its integration into retirement portfolios, mutual funds, and ETFs makes it a core holding. US-based investors also benefit from favorable tax treatment on domestic dividends. 7. Bullish sentiment in the UK. In the UK, Apple is often seen as a reliable international equity. With the British pound relatively stable, buying US stocks like Apple provides diversification and exposure to the strong US tech sector. 8. Australia's view, innovation meets stability. Australian investors, known for their preference toward blue-chip stocks, see Apple as a strong hedge against local tech volatility. The ASX has limited tech exposure, making Apple a strategic offshore addition. 9. Canadian investor outlook. For Canadians, Apple is part of many TSX-traded ETFs. With the Canadian dollar fluctuating, holding US equities like Apple offers both growth potential and currency exposure. 10. Potential risks in 2025. Despite Apple's strengths, risks remain: regulatory pressure, especially in the EU and China, slowing iPhone innovation, and intensifying competition from Samsung, Huawei, and others.
11. Sell-off fears and tech bubble talk. Some investors fear a potential tech bubble. Apple's high valuation relative to historical averages and over-reliance on premium pricing may become problematic if consumer demand softens. 12. Apple's push into new markets. In 2025, Apple is venturing deeper into automotive tech and AI tools. These R&D heavy areas could pay off, or become costly distractions, depending on execution. 13. ESG factors and Apple's sustainability reports have impressed socially responsible investors. From recycled materials to carbon neutrality goals, Apple is increasingly seen as an ESG-friendly tech giant. 14. Apple's dividend strategy. Though not a high-yield dividend stock, Apple's consistent increases in payouts are attractive to income-focused investors, especially retirees in Canada and Australia. 15. The hold case. Wait and watch. Investors uncertain about tech valuations might consider holding Apple. It's stable, cash-rich, and unlikely to face existential risks, making it a solid wait-and-see play. 16. Impact of interest rates in USA and UK. Higher interest rates in the US and UK could dampen tech stock enthusiasm. However, Apple's cash position and pricing power help it weather such environments better than most. 17. Currency exchange considerations for UK, AUS, and CAN investors. Currency fluctuations are a key concern. A strengthening USD benefits AAPL returns, but a weak dollar could hurt overall gains. 18. Institutional ownership and confidence. Major institutions like BlackRock and Vanguard continue to increase their positions in Apple, signaling long-term confidence in the stock. 19. Analyst ratings in 2025. As of Q2 2025, 70% of Wall Street analysts rate AAPL as a buy, 25% as hold, and only 5% as sell. This shows continued bullishness in the broader investment community. 20. AI and services. Apple's next frontier. The real excitement lies in Apple's growing AI assistant and health services ecosystem. These could be the next revenue engines beyond hardware. Are you looking to maximize your investment in Apple's stock? Today, we'll uncover how you can effectively invest in Apple and assess its ongoing stock repurchase program. Let's start with stock buybacks. This means Apple is buying back its shares. By doing this, they reduce the number of shares available. This reduction limits share dilution and supports earnings per share, EPS, growth. Higher EPS often leads to a higher stock price. This is appealing to long-term investors aiming for growth. Next, let's talk about portfolio allocation. Experts suggest a balanced approach. Avoid investing too much in a single stock, including Apple. Ideally, Apple should represent 3 to 5% of your diversified international portfolio. This strategy minimizes risks while still allowing for potential gains. Now, what if you are a cautious investor? Dollar cost averaging might be your best strategy. This means investing a fixed amount consistently over time. It reduces the risk of entering the market at a bad moment. This way, you gain exposure to Apple while minimizing risks. What about aggressive investors? If you're comfortable taking risks, consider leveraged ETFs or options. These can amplify gains, but they come with higher risk. Always have clear exit strategies and understand Apple's volatility. As we wrap up, let's view Apple as a global asset. Whether you're in New York, London, or Sydney, investing in Apple remains relevant. In 2025, it could be a stable and rewarding investment. For most investors, it's a buy or hold decision, not a sell. Now that you know these strategies, it's time to take action. Assess your investment style and consider how Apple fits into your portfolio. Subscribe for more investment tips and stay informed.